Prototype is a game where you play as Alex Mercer, who's a shapeshifter walking the streets of New York City, and he has the ability to trigger instantly devastating attack, sensory and defense powers. He kind of can weaponize himself, if you will. He also consumes humans, and he can attain their physical form, their knowledge, their skills, and even their memories. Well, one of the things you can do if you consume military personnel is you can pick up a rifle and fire it. You could jack a tank, drive an M1 Abrams through the streets. You can even jack helicopters in mid-combat, like Apaches or Comanches or anything like that. Effectively, you start out as a blank slate at the beginning of the game. Alex Mercer doesn't even know his own name. He has no memory. He doesn't understand what's happened to him, how he got these powers, and how he's connected to what's happening in New York City. Well, New York City is an evolving, living character. It's not just a backdrop for our game. It evolves through the structure of the story, and you'll see it from basically pristine present-day 2008 New York City evolve into a heightened state of alert. The military's moved in, they've taken control of the media, they've taken control of some of the areas of the city, and eventually things get out of control and we end up with a three-way war between you, Alex Mercer, the prototype, the infected, and the military. We have a very cool analog running system that basically allows you to drive Alex when he's running on the road like a car. We even have things like a power slide boost mechanic. If you know how to skillfully turn the character, he will get an acceleration boost coming out of the turn. So when I say drive like a car, I mean like a race car, not like a clunky old beater. The sort of attack and defensive capabilities of the shape-shifting abilities of Alex allow him to do things like extrude claw arms or blade arms or hammer fist. We also have defensive powers like full body armor or body shield. And there's also sensory powers that give you the senses, the heightened senses of almost a super predator. One of the other things it has is something we call adaptive open world animation system, which allows the player to look completely cool and acrobatic, even though the world is incredibly dynamic. Traffic is moving and swerving, people are running in all directions, giant enemies are coming at you, all in an environment of 80-story buildings where explosions are happening. You can deal with the enemies, deal with the combat, and at the same time look incredibly acrobatically cool in ways that you wouldn't be able to do if you had to directly control that. All that movement happens automatically, and it's because there's AI built into our animation system. Prototype will come out on the PS3, the 360, and the PC in the third quarter of 2008. We have another year to go. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be kick-ass. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Product not yet rated.
What is the measure of a man? Is it the fruit of his labors, or the secrets of his heart?
Never designed anything like it. But now, I know what I have to do.
You're not a soldier.
You're damn right I'm not. I'm an army.
One of the challenges of developing the Force Unleashed was really combining a lot of different simulation technologies to work together. So we have Havoc, which is our underlying physics system. We have digital molecular matter, or DMM, which simulates the way that materials behave in the real world based on real world properties. And then we have Euphoria, which infuses all of our characters with a central nervous system. So those things talk to each other constantly, and you can imagine I can grab a stormtrooper using force grip, and he's got a sense of self-preservation, so he might grab a crate or a railing and try and hold on for dear life. If I pick him up and then I throw him through a plate glass window, he's going to shatter that window, and it's going to break differently every single time based on the angle that he's coming at, how he's twisted his body in order to protect himself, the force that's being applied. If he's dragging that crate behind him, it's going to cause an even bigger explosion. So these three technologies communicating with each other and working in conjunction to create this really interactive environment creates unpredictable things every single day, and things that, you know, the testers who play the game for hours on end have never seen before. And that's all because it's all simulation based, and we're really trying to make an environment that just reacts to everything that you're doing in very authentic ways. We're releasing the Force Unleashed on multiple platforms, so Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PS2, PSP, the Wii, and the DS. And each platform offers its own kind of unique experience. We are following the same storyline, and you play the same character, and we're still delivering on the Force Unleashed, but each platform does it in slightly different ways. So on the DS, you have access to all of these force powers at kind of the flick of a wrist. So you're able to really easily string together force power combos, combining lightning with force push or lightning with a lightsaber attack, for example, with just a really quick, gesture on the stylus. With the Wii, obviously, we have the Wiimote, which you get to use to wield the lightsaber, and we're trying to make it a very accessible and visceral experience. So you can stab and you can swing the lightsaber left and right and up and down, but it's very fluid, and you can combine it really easily in order to chain together lightsaber attacks, and then also combine it with gestures and button presses on the Wiimote in order to combine those lightsaber attacks with force power. So you might imbue your lightsaber with a lightning effect that extends the length of the lightsaber and does an area effect damage. And again, it's all just really seamless using the Wiimote to do very simple gestures and the nunchuck to control your force powers. And Chrome, the developer in Australia that is working on the Wii version, is doing an absolutely incredible job really making this accessible, but making it feel like you're truly a Jedi wielding a lightsaber and wielding these over-the-top force powers. For us, we really are trying to create the next chapter in the Star Wars saga in terms of the story. We really wanted to tell a storyline that connects episodes 3 with episodes 4 and shows you how the galaxy evolves and unfolds over that time, and you get to interact with key characters. Do a couple different things with gameplay. At LucasArts, we have a big focus on simulation-based gameplay, and the Force is a perfect tool for that. We get to use the Force to manipulate the environment in new and dramatic ways. You can use that to set off chain reactions and to set off these simulations. So we knew that the Force was a tool we wanted to use there. The Apprentice has a very unique and new fighting style, which is something we're very excited about. Our animators spent a lot of time trying to create something that would be very visually striking. You're looking at the character from behind a lot, so one of the first things that we decided was, well, let's give him a reverse grip. So you see that lightsaber. It's a very iconic image. It's always on screen. But we also wanted him to feel very athletic and very fast, and have very quick strikes and be able to dash and move very quickly. And again, that being able to flip that lightsaber around and attack really quickly, almost from a stealth position, was what we focused on. So you start off as Darth Vader's secret apprentice, but through twists and turns in the story, that's not necessarily how you're going to end up, and we are offering you a chance for redemption at the end. Now, how players decide to allow that to play out is kind of up to them, but there is that chance for redemption at the end of the game.